She scored 0 out of 5 for her eval points. So if you don't want to end up like her, watch on. This is how you can do an in-body eval point. And that's the 3 tips for you. Wow, the other day I was so pissed off, right, with my student. She got B for essay. I think it was a time practice or WA, whatever. B for essay, right, which is pretty good. But yeah, I was so pissed off with her because she could have easily just got A. She scored 0 out of 5 for her eval points. So if you don't want to end up like her, missing your A for your economics essay, watch on. Hi, all you JC economics student, and even if you're an IB economics student, this will benefit you. Today, we are deep diving into evaluation. How do you score for that evaluation component? And you should know that it is highly important for your A-level economics essays. They make up 1/3 of your Part B essay marks, 5 marks devoted to eval. Super important. We are today going to focus on the in-body or intermediate evaluation, which means after you have produced your key arguments, your R1, your R2, you're supposed to provide a critique of the economic explanations that you have provided. So tip number 1, essentially you should look out for assumptions and challenge those assumptions. Because in every economic explanation, there are some assumptions that are made. Some are quite explicit and some are implicit, quite hidden. You should look out for those, and certainly you need some amount of training, some amount of exposure to learn to see them. For example, if there is tax that has been imposed, right? So standard economic analysis, you would expect that prices will increase. But will it always increase? For example, if you have an oligopoly market structure, and that could be in the context given to you, the preamble given to you, oligopoly market structure, as we all know, also have phenomenon of price rigidity. So we can pick this up, point out that this is an oligopolistic market structure, and as a result, the firms may resist increasing their price for competitive reasons. So this is how you can do an in-body eval point, okay? Essentially pointing out that it may not be true that the prices will increase just because there is an imposition of tax in this market. Tip number 2, you must also make sure you contextualize your points. The most powerful, the most relevant assumptions that you challenge are those that you can actually utilize context to beef up your counterpoint. Now, tip number 3, it is not true that all your in-body eval points must be criticisms, must be negative eval. No, it is not true. Positive evals can also be done. Now, having said that, and this is the tip number 3, in exam conditions, under exam pressures, sometimes it is very hard for you to distinguish between what is your standard economic explanations with elaboration within the context and what is a positive eval point. So it is very hard for you to so-called separate the two. It is not very clear, there are overlaps and so on. So therefore, I always say to play it safe, your in-body eval points, keep it as rebuttals or counterpoints, even though theoretically they need not 100% be so. And that's the 3 tips for you where in-body eval points are concerned. And hopefully from today onwards, you'll be scoring plenty of eval marks. See you in class. Ciao.